It's been a pretty long time since I've made a video, but since the verdict of the Trayvon Martin trial, I felt it was fitting to say something. I just felt it was necessary. The verdict to me was completely outrageous. I mean, people are saying, okay, the prosecution didn't do the greatest job of proving without a reasonable doubt, but at what point do we not factor in common sense? But let's just get past that, because you know what? What's done is done. You can't try somebody for the same crime twice. So I'm just going to give some commentary on how the verdict makes me feel. I am outraged, and this has also taught me a lot of things. It's taught me that your race and your socioeconomic status, your gender, are all very important in this society. To this day, things haven't changed. I mean, Casy Anthony can get off in the state of Florida. You have a woman who's going to serve 20 years for firing a warning shot in her own house after being attacked by her abusive husband for firing a warning shot. 20 years for firing a warning shot. She didn't even kill anyone. Firing it against an aggressor to protect her children. She's serving 20 years. And then you have George Zimmerman, who shot and killed a 17-year-old boy. You cannot deny that he did this, that he shot and killed that boy. So, what does that tell you? We have Trayvon. I guess they look at it as Trayvon is in the wrong place at the wrong time. This verdict tells me that they felt that Trayvon was responsible for his own death. But to me, when somebody has a gun, they automatically have an advantage. And I'm pretty sure there's something about that in the law. I mean, if you have any fighting experience and you have to register yourself as a weapon because you have an advantage, I don't see why a gun would be any different. Trayvon was found dead with a pack of Skittles and, some iced tea? Like, how, in any way, is there any doubt that he was murdered? George Zimmerman had no business being there. The police told them not to be there. You heard the screams. You heard the screams for yourself on the phone tape. Now, George Zimmerman was told not to be there. He was acting as a vigilante. So regardless of how the situation went down, he is guilty. He is the aggressor. He instigated the situation. He could have just let it go. He already called the police. They would have been on their way. Sure, if you want to follow, go ahead, follow. But the moment you make contact, think about it. If the roles were reversed and a black man shot a white boy, would it be the same? This makes me so upset because I have a brother about the same age. That could have been my brother. And if things don't change, that could be my son. What kind of message is the state of Florida trying to convey? Clearly there's a double standard. So now I know that I better get rich quick, because the only way that I can see any kind of justice is if I have money. And even then, still, it's pretty iffy. Maybe if I'm a celebrity. Yeah, if I'm a celebrity, you know what? I can run somebody over with my car, whatever. Smoke some crack, steal from jewelry stores, get in and out of jail, no problem. if I even serve jail time. But God forbid somebody were to kill me or harm me. I don't know. And what kind of person do you have to be to defend somebody like that? Because to me, I don't know how you could explain it to me to make me see how George Zimmerman is innocent at all in this situation. You'd have to go from the very beginning. From the very beginning. I've seen stuff happen at schools, in neighborhoods. Been in instances where I've had to call the police. They tell you, don't put your life in danger. If George Zimmerman felt he was in danger, he shouldn't have put himself in that situation. If anybody is at fault for being involved in that fight, it's George Zimmerman. And if he's complaining about, self-defense, I had a broken nose or whatever. Who started the fight? Who asked you to follow him? You couldn't ask him like a simple question or two? Like, excuse me, like, I haven't seen you around here before. Like, where are you going? Like, at least when the police racial profile you, they usually ask you a couple questions or two. And even still, it's none of your business. And I know people keep saying George Zimmerman is white. He's half white. Okay? So, it's not the fact of what his race is. It's the fact that this can be done to a black person. And nobody cares. Well, not nobody cares, but the system doesn't care. I don't know. It honestly breaks my heart. I mean, like they say, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. No, I do not live in the States. But stuff like this is happening all around the world. And the fact that George Zimmerman, like, he has a history of racial profiling. They're saying, he was a softie, he didn't know how to fight. Why is he taking martial arts classes then? He wasn't that fat when he was trying to fight Trayvon. And clearly, if you're going to go up to some kid or somebody who's bigger than you and start a fight, you must have some kind of confidence in your abilities. Otherwise, you're just an idiot. And he knew he would get away with it. He knew he would. I don't even know what to say. This is just another example of why the system needs reform. Why wasn't there a single black person on the jury? Why was it mainly white people and only one Hispanic person? How come you notice that? All white and one Hispanic? That fits Zimmerman's profile. Who's there representing Trayvon? I thought the jury's supposed to be open-minded. Or at least neutral. How come there were no Asians, no Indians, like something? If you didn't want to put black people, how come you have the opposite end of the spectrum on there? It just doesn't make sense to me. This situation was doomed to fail as soon as it started. And that's why I didn't have the heart to watch the trial. Because I just knew this is going to happen. Because this is how it always happens. I mean, you hope, you think, there's enough evidence here. People must have common sense. Same thing with the Casy Anthony trial. But no. And then people are going to be like, why are you playing the race card? We wouldn't need to play the race card if race wasn't an issue. If stuff that happened 50 years ago and were supposed to be past wasn't still happening now. You shouldn't expect us to just sit here and be quiet and just take it. You shouldn't try to shame us for the life experiences that we have going on. Because stuff like this happens to us black people, Asians, Latinos, whoever, every day. And people try to guilt us into being quiet, into just taking it. Oh, you're exaggerating. Oh, why are you pulling the race card? It didn't happen like that. Who does that anymore? It's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Why are you surprised to hear like people like Paula D are throwing around the word nigger? It's more common than you think. Maybe if you just opened your eyes, maybe if you realize, maybe in how you speak, in your day-to-day conversations. Sometimes people are racist or have racist tendencies and they don't even realize it. That they're insensitive to other. Race isn't even an actual construct. It's something that we created. So, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And you'd think that we should be past this. We should all, after years and years of multiculturalism and globalization, you'd think that we should be better than this. That we shouldn't be making the same mistakes over and over and over again. But yet it happens. I don't even know. Words can't even express how sorry I am for the Martin family. And for everyone who is close to him. And for anyone who's been in any kind of situation, even remotely close to this. It's just like, what can you do? It's scary to feel helpless in your own country. To feel like a second-class citizen. Like there's nothing you can do. That the law isn't out there to protect you like it is to protect anyone else. And people think that we have some kind of advantage. Minorities. That we have some kind of privilege. Oh, affirmative action. But you don't realize the privileges that you have. Basic things that you take for granted. Just think about it. You don't get stopped on the street every day because your car is too nice. Your house is too nice. You don't have to put up with that. Oh, your hair is too nappy. You're too ethnic. You're too dark. Your accent. That's all I'm gonna say.